Across the world, the people who work the longest hours are not the richest. They are the poorest. Farmers who rise before the sun. Cleaners who move through empty buildings like quiet shadows before the city wakes. Drivers who know every crack in the road but not the faces of their own children at night. Factory hands whose fingers grow thin and stiff long before their dreams do. Mothers. Fathers. Quiet heroes no history book will name. People whose backs bend like question marks by the age of 40. If effort were enough, they would be kings. But they are not. And that is where the story begins to tremble. Somewhere along the long path of human progress, a rule was changed. Softly. Without a meeting. Without a letter. Without your permission. And you and I have been obeying it with our entire lives. This is not about avoiding work. It is about discovering who your work is truly serving. I want to speak to you as if you are sitting across from me in a small, quiet room. No crowd.
No noise.
No performance. Just you and me, and the soft sound of breathing that proves we are still here. Because this conversation is not for everyone. It is for the one who is tired but still trying. The one who does not complain much. The one who wakes up and does what must be done, even when the heart feels heavy. The one who carries responsibility like a second spine. It is for the one who secretly wonders, late at night, when the lights are off and the world is finally silent, why it still feels like you are falling behind. You were taught something very simple. Work hard and life will become kind. Give your best and the world will give back. Struggle now and rest later. It is a beautiful idea. It is also incomplete. And for many gentle, loyal people, it has become dangerous. Because it teaches you to blame yourself for a problem that was never personal. It tells you that if you are tired, you are weak. If you are poor, you are careless. If you are slow, you are broken. But what if none of that is true? What if you are not failing at life? What if you were trained for a world that no longer exists? Tonight I want to walk with you through a quieter truth. Not to make you angry. Not to make you bitter. But to make you free. Long ago, people believed the earth was flat. They built their lives around this belief. Their maps, their ships, their courage. And for a time, the belief worked well enough. Until one day it didn't. Ships fell off the edge of what they thought was reality. Not because the sailors were foolish, but because the world had always been larger than the story they were given. Hard work is like that. It was once a reliable map. In your grandparents' time, effort often led to stability. A job could become a home. Loyalty could become safety. One income could feed a family. The ground beneath hard work was solid. But quietly, the ground changed. The rules of reward changed. And no one gathered the workers to explain. So they kept digging with tools made for a different soil. Imagine a donkey, old and gentle and patient. One day it falls into a deep well. The owner looks down and sighs. It is too deep, he says. The donkey is too old. So he does something strange. He begins to throw dirt into the well to bury the problem. At first the donkey panics. The dirt hits its back, its head, its tired legs. But then something remarkable happens. The donkey shakes the dirt off and steps on it. More dirt falls. Again the donkey shakes and steps. Again and again. Slowly, the well becomes shallower. In some versions of the story, the donkey climbs out and we clap and say hard work wins. But there is another version, a quieter one. In the modern version, the dirt falls faster. The well is deeper. The donkey grows tired. And no matter how bravely it shakes, the hole grows quicker than hope. The donkey does not fail. The environment does. I wonder sometimes if you are that donkey. If you have been shaking off the dirt of bills and expectations and rising costs and shrinking wages, doing everything right, and still sinking. If so, I want you to listen gently. Not to judge yourself, but to understand the shape of the cage. Let me take you forward in time for a moment, not with fear, just softly. Imagine you are old. Your hands are thinner. Your voice is quieter. Your breath moves more slowly through your chest. You are sitting somewhere still, perhaps near a window. And I come to sit beside you. You look at me with kind eyes, eyes that have carried decades. I ask you if you worked hard. You smile and say yes, very hard. I ask if you were loyal. You nod. Yes. I ask if you tried your best. You close your eyes and say yes. Then I ask the most difficult question. Were you free? There is a pause, not because you are dishonest, but because the truth is delicate. And you say, I was busy. I was useful. I was tired. But free, I am not sure. That future version of you does not regret working. No. They regret believing that work was love. They regret believing exhaustion was the price of dignity. They regret confusing survival with living. And maybe they are speaking to you now. So if hard work is not the villain, what is? What changed while we were busy surviving? The world you were trained for has quietly disappeared. Your parents were taught to find a job, be loyal, work hard, grow old safely. But today's world whispers something different. Be useful but replaceable. Be busy but small. Be tired but silent. Machines grow stronger. Systems grow faster. Money travels the globe in seconds. But your body still needs rest. Your heart still needs safety. Your mind still needs meaning. Here is the quiet truth. The modern world does not reward effort. It rewards position. It rewards ownership. It rewards scale. Two people can work equally hard. One becomes free. One remains trapped. The difference is not their character. It is what they own. One owns the result of their labor. The other rents out their time. Time is fragile. You wake with it. You spend it. You never get it back. Ownership is different. It works while you sleep. It grows while you age. It protects while you breathe. A man can dig wells with his hands. Another can own the land where water lives. Both work. Only one rests. And no one explains this to children. Instead we tell them to try harder, as if effort alone can fix a broken road. Have you noticed how tiredness is praised? I barely sleep, we say. I am always busy. I am exhausted. And people nod with respect, as if suffering is proof of value. But tired people do not rebel. Busy people do not ask questions. Ashamed people blame themselves instead of the system. And so the machine hums peacefully, feeding on silence. There is a simple piece of math no one taught you. Effort multiplied by a broken structure equals survival. Effort multiplied by a healthy structure equals freedom. Hard work is not useless. It is fuel. But fuel without direction only creates smoke, and smoke makes the eyes burn, not the path clear. Another trap waits quietly in the heart. Identity. You are told you are what you do. So if you stop doing, who are you? When your worth is tied to struggle, rest feels like betrayal. But nature does not work this way. The lion sleeps most of the day. The tree does not apologize for growing slowly. The river does not rush to prove it is valuable. Only humans believe pain is a resume. And then comes the cruelest lie of all. If you are still struggling, you did not try hard enough. But I have met people who tried harder than you ever will. People whose fingers bled into the soil. People who carried hope like a wounded animal. They were not lazy. They were placed on weaker ground. You cannot grow tall in shallow earth, no matter how brave your roots. So what do? We cannot undo the world. But we can learn to walk inside it more gently. First, separate your worth from your output. You are valuable even on days you produce nothing. Even when you rest. Even when you fail. You were precious before you were useful. Second, shift from effort to direction. Once a week, ask quietly, who owns the result of my work? Does this grow without destroying me? Third, build one small lever. Not 10. Not 1,000. 1. A skill that travels. A tiny asset. Something you build once and feeds you many times. Not hustle. Leverage. And finally, redefine success. Not how tired am I, but how free am I becoming? You do not need to escape society. You only need to stop believing that suffering is the entrance fee to dignity. If you feel brave enough, you can whisper in the comments what belief about hard work you inherited that no longer feels kind. You were taught to run, not to navigate. To endure, not to design. You confused pain with progress because no one offered you another language. But now you have one. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not behind. You are a thoughtful, fragile, beautiful creature living inside a loud system that profits from your silence. Rest is not weakness. Direction is not betrayal. And your life, your one small unrepeatable life, was never meant to be a transaction. If something inside you became quieter while listening, you are not alone. You may leave a thought below, even a small one. And if you would like more quiet conversations about money, meaning, and modern survival, you are welcome to walk with this channel gently, whenever you are ready.